Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope that you're having an amazing day in whatever part of the world that it is that you are in, whatever time it is. This is the Black Conservative Liberal coming through with another one of my opinions. In this one, I am going to talk about a guy who confronts a teacher for putting his grandson in a dress. But before I start the video, just going to get this out the way really quickly. If you don't mind, consider hitting that like, subscribe, that heart, that follow, that thumbs up button. And let's go ahead and let's get into the video.
Hey, good morning. Yeah. I'm perfect. Yeah, she called me and told me that she had an issue up here about my grandson being in a dress. I'm trying to see what the issue is about that.
Okay, you're gonna have to talk to Dara.
Who's
She's the
Dara?
director. She's down in the other classroom.
Is she the one that was in charge of the kids while my
I
grandson?
was, but I can't talk to you
Why?
because you're not on the form. So we'll have to get Dara up here and see if she will let you.
Okay, so I just got to stop it right here. A few things that I want to point out. It's the grandfather of the child. It's a male child. And he is not on, I'm assuming the whomever can come up to the school and either pick up the child or talk to the administration about behavioral issues, or he's not a guardian, in other words. At least it doesn't sound like he is on the paperwork. So I'm an advocate for teachers. Teachers have a really hard time, especially at public schools. You know, they lack resources. They have too many children. Their expectations, the expectations that are placed upon them from their staff as well as parents, it's just not realistic. They don't get the support that they need from the parents, the people that are actually raising these kids that they're sending off to be babysat for a few hours. So I sympathize with teachers. I will always be an advocate for teachers, good teachers anyway. And in this situation so far, I would say that the the gentleman is wrong in his approach. I don't even know how he got this far into the building to be able to just walk into a classroom and talk to a teacher. You never want to do this. For the people that are having young kids growing up, if you want teachers and administrators to be on your side, don't ever just walk into the building and demand anything. Schedule a meeting. Go talk. Don't go in there with your emotions high, because you're going to be put into a box of basically the ignorant parents. Like, I spend a lot of time with my children's teachers. I've always volunteered, and you have no idea how much they appreciate just somebody coming up and asking what is going on instead of just getting secondhand information. However, with that being said, though, I would have been pissed if my son was put into a dress. But let me shut up and get back into the video.
I mean, I'll talk to you about it.
First of all, I'm coming down here because we don't do that. The transgender and all that. We don't do that.
I understand. I don't either. But he's
And
I don't understand what him being two has to do with anything as far as him having a dress on. That's not your child. That's not your say-so to determine at what age you think it's appropriate to put on a dress on a boy. And I wouldn't have appreciated the condescending attitude. However, I would not have gone with this approach. But up until this point, you know, I'm with him, and that would have pissed me off right there. But he's two. What? Yeah, I've been taking care of this 2-year-old up until this point, and if this is the second day that you've put on a dress, it kind of seems like you're doing this intentionally after I've already expressed how I do not like this. So I mean, I understand why the guy's doing it, but let me shut up.
I don't appreciate you encouraging him to put on no dress for the second day too. I don't appreciate that. And don't think this is going away. I'm going further with this.
okay. You can go down and talk.
No,
to
I'm not
Dara.
done talking to you. I'm letting you know the next time that you put any kid in a dress, we're gonna make you go viral.
Okay. You need to go talk to my director because I, as a teacher.
No, I'm letting you know I got an issue with you about that. I'm not playing with you.
Now, what is interesting right here is the cross in the background, I know that this can't be a public school with a cross in the background like that. So I don't even know what to say about that, because I can't think of any. Um, I went to private school for a few years, and I can't imagine them encouraging children to put on a dress. So if this is a private school, I'm assuming you're paying tuition. So there would certainly be a higher level of festivity for me on the second day that this occurred, if I'm paying money to a place that I'm thinking or assuming or should be kind of enforcing the Christian values that I have at home, or that I'm trying to instill in my child at home. I'm assuming that's why they picked this school. I mean, because you don't generally go to a private school unless you're on a scholarship of some type, or your parents want to send you to a private school and they pick the one that closely aligns to their beliefs and values. Because at the end of the day, you can spend your money at any of them. So I'm just assuming that's why most people would go to a private school, or that's kind of their vetting process for private school. So that's kind of weird with the big cross on the background. Another thing that I want to point out is he's got to be really careful with what he's saying, because it can be considered a threat. And the last thing that you want is to be banned from your kid's school or your grandkid's school, because that like scarlet letter will carry on with you from elementary to middle to high school. You'll always be that parent or grandparent. So yeah, it's best to schedule a meeting, because going in and doing this is probably not going to end the way that you want it to. And lady could have really became a Karen and said, hey, this guy threatened me. Let's get back into the video. Before I get back into the video, I got to correct myself and say one thing. If you have not been up to the school up until this point, then you really, I'm not going to say you don't have a right, because you're paying, I'm assuming you're helping pay tuition at this, I'm assuming private Montessori, private school, whatever it is, there's a cross on the wall. So they're paying for it. It's not free. You can't just be just popping up at school, a stranger just running off at the mouth. Like, you've got to be active at this school. You have to be. Because I'm not going to say, once again, you don't have a right, because you're, I'm assuming, helping pay tuition. But if you don't pay tuition, then you really don't have a right, especially if you're not on the listed guardians for the child. So let me now shut up and get back to the video.
I'm sorry that you feel that way.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you feel that way. But you should have called me before you made the decision to put my grandson in a dress.
Okay, you can speak to the
No, I'm
director.
speaking to you.
Please do not talk to me in that tone with my children
I
around.
wouldn't be up here if you wouldn't put my grandson in no dress.
Again,
Well, do what you got to
take it
do.
up with Miss
No,
Dara.
I'm taking it up with you.
Please lower your voice. You're in a classroom.
I'm
with
taking it up
children.
with you. Well, you shouldn't have put my grandson in no dress.
These two.
This ain't over with, all right?
I've just got to stop right there, because that nonsense about he's two. If the parent, the guardian, whomever is responsible for taking care of that child for the 2 years that he has been on this earth, have an issue with you putting a dress on him, it doesn't matter how old he is. That's the request from the people that are, I'm assuming, paying for the building where that cross is, which is not a public school. So besides the approach, I'm with the grandfather, because he's too nonsense. Did you put your child in a dress at the age of 2 if he was a male? Do you have children? Definitely would have been up there. However, you got to schedule a meeting, because if not, you're just going to look like a bully, and she's going to be the victim, and you're not going to get what you want at the end of the day. And they might freaking put your kid in a dress another day. So don't go about it this way, but I completely understand why you were pissed. So with that, y'all go ahead and y'all have a nice day.